Yes.
Okay. Anyway, the first few the okay
I'm having a meeting. Uh, Bernard, are you ready, Bernard?
yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay. Let me go through this with you, and then quickly, and then you can go off, lah, huh?
Okay, doctor. Yeah.
Right. So basically, you. I think I see the effort of you trying to fit into the flow of things. Okay. Yes. So you went by saying that this is the construction industry, and then this is yeah, this is the what the construction industry is overall about, and then how that it is you start to bring in a bit of time, cost, quality. Okay, I've already done the recording here, so later on you can listen now. And then you move on and talk about the issues with construction industries. Okay, and mm, so you went by a few issues. Okay, so your flow is going by issues, and then um, moving in and talk about time, resources. Okay, there's still a bit of fragmentation, like things doesn't flow very well yet. Um, so you talk about time, and then definition of time, and you straight away move into delay. So there's this thing on delay. Okay, delay. Mm, effects of delay and time effect of delay, and then time overrun, cost overrun. So effect of delay, and then you go to time overrun, cost overrun here. Why? Other effect of delay, type of delay. So meaning that this three section, time overrun, cost overrun, and other effect of delay is under effect of delay, is it?
Yes. Effect or delay. Yeah.
Yeah. So your things are not very clear here. Okay. Then type of delay. Okay. These are very common feature. Causes of delays. Okay. Many studies on the causes of delays. Conclusion. Why is there a conclusion here? It's a summary. Okay. Then you have your delay analysis. Okay. Delay analysis method, delay analysis technique. Okay, okay, now I can kind of see where you're trying to get at. There is an improvement, but as usual, you are not really fully doing whatever I want you to do. Okay, your thing, even though it's getting better, but it's still very jumpy as in, here a bit, there a bit, and then go back to the same issues, and you don't finish covering the same issues, at the same time. Okay, so we talk about construction industry. If we talk about construction industries and the issues involved in construction industry, so challenges and issues, do you want to go and talk about the challenges and issues so soon? Okay. I feel like here is a little bit too, okay, the first part here is you talk about the construction industry, and then what the project, what is every project is like, within has to be, there's a commencement, delivery date, and then there is a strict budget, and then you talk about time, cost, quality, and so you need to talk about, we need to manage. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's. I feel like this is incomplete, lah, huh? It's still incomplete. Like there is a bit more things that you need to do here. Green means a bit of green means actually not very complete, lah, huh? So meaning that from here you probably will need to do another paragraph, like what is the construction industry comprising of, and the then you need to talk about, the following is the difficulties and challenges that I already said this many times, and I don't want to repeat this again and again. After every section, you should have a little summary. It's like, what is the next section going to be about? So what does the above here tells you, and what does the below here coming up, what is it below here going to say, you see? So your numbering is also a bit weird. So is this under construction industry? If it's under, then it should be 1.1. 1.1 for construction industry and the challenges and the issues involved. And your paragraphing still tends to be a bit too long, and you talk about too many things in one paragraph. You see, in one paragraph, it's the same with every one of your paragraph. You tend to talk about everything throw in everything in one paragraph, and then later on you move on to the next issue, throw in again everything in one paragraph. We have to really learn to actually finish talking about one thing clearly and then moving on to the next issue. So you see, if you're talking about globalization as a challenge here, okay, globalization is a challenge here, then can you finish talking about globalization instead of going to problems like productivity, poor planning, delay, poor coordination? Why should you be putting everything of this productivity, poor planning, delay? You can have an overall paragraph like the construction industry is pretty much filled with different challenges, that deals from the actual physical construction with materials, with labor and all that, and then to management, which is dealing with productivity, which is dealing with productivity planning, delay, poor planning. Planning is actually one issue by itself, and then delay, cost overrun, and all that. So we don't really see it here. You start to talk about focusing on schedule. Okay. Yeah, so what is it about schedule? You're not really talking about schedule here. You're talking about, okay, completion time being the success factor. That's fine, and then you talk about so many players again, and then they're all plagued by this issue. So what is it about schedule? Complex, fragmented schedule, resources driven. So what, like Bernard, it's a very tiring thing to read your literature review. I'm sorry to say this, because you are very jumpy, in the things that you are doing here, So it's like, if we talk about construction industry being complex and fragmented, then we talk about complex and fragmented. What is it about complex and fragmented? It is schedule and resources driven. Then you talk about schedule. Then you see resources driven, and then suddenly you talk about budget again and quality standard again. You understand what I'm trying to say, Bernard? Are you still here?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. Can
Uh-huh.
can hear. Can hear.
You do you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say here? I'm slowly kind of like detecting your problem. Like at first I was thinking like your thing is just very jumpy, but I realized that you like to put, you like to put a lot of things into one paragraph, then you talk about schedule here, blah blah blah, and then here you talk about a problem faced by construction industry, time and cost overrun, and you go back and talk about it again. It's like, can we just finish talking about one thing at a time? Mm. We do this, meanwhile, how do I get you to improve on this? You know what? Can you do me? Can we have this practice here? You have a little heading, just italic a little heading at the beginning of every one of your paragraph. Because no matter what I'm trying to say, you just don't seem to get it, like I already said this many times. If we talk about challenges, you can talk about an overall. So you can go by, give me a small, like, give me a small title. Overall. So you talk about overall. So can you talk about the issue and challenges of the construction industry overall? Just use that heading, talk about overall. Overall, you can even have it in point, like the construction industry has to deal with what, so you talk about like, overall in point form and all that, and then after that you move on and you tell me, like you tell yourself, what you want to talk about next, So out of the overall issue, let's say you've got 10 points here, 10 points on challenges and issues and all that. I would tend to go by physical issues, like such as the construction things, like material, and then material machineries, that sort of things, give it a short few sentences. And then management, in terms of management, there's always problem with managing time, cost, quality, and then also safety is always an issue, and then you move on, like you really find literature that talks about challenges. So many literature that has this, you see. So, and we after like how many times I've met you already? This must be like a 5th or 4th time that I'm meeting you already, but somehow I'm still not getting that, like you know what you're doing kind of thing. You don't even know what literature review is all about, So let's say, you have this 10 point, this is overall. So you give me an overall overview. Okay, use the word overview. Overview of the challenges. And then from this overview of the challenges, and every one of the category, you talk about it properly. Okay? Physical. Like let's say if it's physical, what is it that you're talking about here? Finish 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 pages, whatever it is you need, you write it down here, physical. And then if you want to manage the problem with time management or problem with management, of construction project, you talk about it first. Everything on this, you talk about it first. So like you go by issues, okay? So this bit here, can you do something about this, And then from there, you are moving into, like here, you must have a little summary. Okay, what this summary is all about. This summary is above tells you that there are many issues pertaining to management, pertaining to the construction industry. The construction industry have many issues and all that. So what we're going to do is we will discuss on issues related to time in more detail in the following section. And then you talk about time first. So time is like, now I think you can even have like 1.2 already. 1 is all about construction industry, 2 is about time. Okay, so time, so you give yourself definition. Do you have enough literature on the definition of time? To give you a guideline, definition alone should be about at least 1 to 2 paragraphs of about 4 to 5 definitions from different authors. Yeah, so, and then, don't jump to time delay first, finish talking about time first, and then what are the time management tools? What are the time management? What tools do you use to manage time? General things, tools to manage time. Schedule. How do you do a schedule? You see, you talk about this thing, but I don't see the word schedule coming out. You see, what is the time is related to schedule? What is schedule? You have 2 paragraphs on what is schedule. Then tools to manage schedule, Gantt chart, all these things, CPM, yeah, PERB. How useful have they been? How good, how bad? Yeah. So this time here, easily we can talk if it's really good, we should be talking about at least 3 pages here, 3 to 4 pages. At least these tools, I would even see it as a 2-page exercise,
Doctor, I think Bernard left already. Maybe his line not very good.
Oh, okay. Ayo, this guy, really thin. Okay, never mind. I think it's recorded lah, so I'll ask him to go and look at the recording lah, huh? Then we'll see if he comes back later.
Okay.
So I'll go with you first, okay?
All right.
Your work, I don't know, I don't know what's wrong with you or the both of you. I mean, I give you 1 month for you grow from 4 pages to 11 pages, So on average, you write about 1 sentence a day. You know what I mean? Like Huang, I'm very straightforward with you, If you guys are happy or not happy, you are my research student, you choose me to be your supervisor. I'm going to be very straightforward with the things that you're doing here,
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
All
I
right.
give you guys 1 month. You guys, if you guys are going to be seriously wanting to complete this, okay, unless you are not serious about completing your masters, you're just here to enroll yourself, and tell everybody that you're doing your masters and waste a 2 years time, on and off. Suka suka come and do, not suka suka then you don't do, Fine, you let me know that I'm not going to be so strict with you guys on this matter, So I'm not going to be chasing after your work every end of every month, and then the moment I start chasing you, then you in that 2 or 3 days, you give me like 4 or 5 pages. This is the type of work that I'm looking at. This is not a month kind of work,
Okay.
Yeah. At least with Bernard, he is giving me some work, but it's just very messy, I'm not happy with the messiness. I'm not happy with the fact that he's not getting the picture. You as a fresh graduate, and then I'm sure you have the ability to do that. I mean, from the work that you are showing me, the workflow of things is not too bad, QA, QP, QC, these are some of the very basic things, that we are looking at, So yeah. So are we getting into the gist of things? I mean, we're definitely not getting into the problem statement. This is talking about definition. So you tell me, 3 months now since I start meeting you, 3 times already, 3 or 4 months already, and you're still stuck with definition. Do you think that you're doing a good job?
I don't think so. I think I need to push myself harder. Yeah.
Chinese, this is called 敷衍, I don't have to spend my every month giving you guys time in this,
Yeah.
So I need to see, if you are like Mr. Chin, he came in as a JKR officer, he is very clear to me that, that his workload is super high, and he is basically is going to do it really slowly, and he is not looking to graduates, like immediately kind of thing, like kind of thing. And he is also telling me that he is in the industry for so long, and then he just couldn't really manage a lot of things, I don't push him, you see, so I manage him in a different way. So you don't need to tell me how I should be managing you, instead of me treating you like a normal master student, okay? And I want you to graduate in 2 years' time, walking up the stage in 2 years' time, graduate on time. If you don't want to graduate on time, then that's fine. I can manage you. I have managed working people before, and what I will do is I ignore them completely until they come and look for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Until they're ready, they come and look for me. I check their work. And then if I'm not happy, I just roughly email them back and tell them that, okay, you need to change this, and then they go away for another 5 months or 3 months, they never come back to me. I never chase them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, I think it's good to push me. Like this is, I think it will be better for me. Okay.
Yeah, so even your literature here, you're talking about, like, I can't comment so much because these are all very basic definition kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And definitely even definition sort of things, this is not adequate as well. So we talk
Okay.
about background of quality. So what is quality, you know, and quality itself, you know, this is quality by varying degrees. There's different definitions of quality, you know. And then after that, we talk about, you know, what is quality management, okay? So from quality, you have to give me like why, you know, like the above is quality. So this is the definition of quality. And maybe you can even add in the evolving of definition of quality as well. How quality actually evolved around the Second World War, Third World War, Second World, sorry, not First World War, Second World War, and then after that, you know, after the war, you know, the definition of quality actually evolves a little bit, you see. So after it evolves, you know, and then because the management of quality starts to come in after quality is been evolving. After it evolves, you see. So in the beginning, whereby in the factory environment, there is a people like, you know, in after World War One, there is a lot of this movement towards group kind of workers, and that is where things are going into production, you see. And then when the things are going into production, then they start to see that things that come out from mass production are actually quite bad in terms of quality. And then they started to realize that it is time to, you know, do something about the system of things. And that is how quality management starts to evolve. So before you can talk about quality management, you need to understand the word management, where it comes from, you see.
Okay. Is it like the history of quality?
Yeah, something like that. And that is where you need to draw out the essence is where is the point in time whereby you start to need to manage quality?
Okay.
That is smoother to flow into what is quality management, you see? Yeah. What you see, after I read quality and then I jump quality management, it doesn't really flow for me. It doesn't tell me that, you know, suddenly you need to manage quality. Yeah, I know this is the objective of quality, you know, meeting the requirement and all that. So why do I need to manage quality, you see? Yeah. So you need to point out here towards the end of this first section, okay, towards the end of this first section, you need to be able to tell your audience, you know, that, hey, you know, we need to manage quality, you see? And the below will be talking about quality management. Yeah. So here you need to talk about which point in time, you know. So you're using that history of quality to actually tell me that, you know, tell us that, you know, history of quality, the evolvement, you know, of qualities to make sure that we know exactly when does it comes about, you know, sort of things. And at the moment, definition of quality, I think you can add some more with the latest one as well, like the newest, you know, you can go by the earliest definition, the very, very early definition of quality in first paragraph, like, you know, like people like Crosby, Durant and all that. These are like the first paragraph of quality, you know, the earlier things on quality. And then you move down to the 19, 80s, 90s, you know, what are the definitions of quality? Here you got, like, you know, so try to write about this, you see.
Okay.
So 80s, 90s, you know, what does people do in 1990s to define quality? And then 2000, what is quality means to people? And now in 2021, what does quality means to people? 2010, what does every 10 years, kind of thing? What is the definition of quality?
All right.
Mm.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Then it's very solid, that kind of work,
Mm.
Yeah. And then you can even use this history of quality to evolve your definition of quality.
Okay.
Yeah. So then at the end of this section, you will say that, at which point in time we are looking at managing quality, see?
Okay.
And then move on to quality management. And quality management, what is it about? Quality management, talk about QMS first. There's a lot of things about quality management. What do you do in quality management? What are the functions? What are the management functions in terms of quality? And then we talk about system to do quality management. So you see, quality management and quality management system is not say it's two different things. It's just like you're saying that I need to manage myself. You see, like just like you yourself, you are Huang. So your definition of Huang is in the first thing, and then you're telling me that my character is like this, like that, like this, and I need you to push me. So in a way, you're telling me that I need a management. I need to have you managing me. So I have to have a Huang management. You see, and Huang management. What is Huang management all about? Huang management is about being disciplined and all that. So you finish talking about that management first, and then after that, oh look, let's have a system to manage you. You see,
Okay. Yeah.
back of you. You see,
Yeah.
so this quality management, there is a lot of different management system available. So I think it will probably be good for you to either in the quality management or maybe in the quality management part here, what you should be putting in order to manage quality. It's just like you're saying that I want to manage you, so I need to manage which area. So it's like normally in any quality management, to manage quality, you are looking at QP, QA, QC. Yeah. So then you need to talk about in quality management, what is QP, QA, QC? QA, quality assurance, and quality
control.
And do you understand that, I don't need to tell you this actually. From literature, you should be able to understand that what is quality planning? So in terms of quality management, we need to plan for our quality. So what is quality planning? And then after that, what is quality assurance? And in quality assurance is something that a lot of people are very confused with. Okay. And because they think that QA, QC are always together, that's fine. Because in terms of QP, you need to implant in QP, you need to talk about input. What are your resources input? What are the processes? What are the methodology? And all that. And then the method, manpower, everything. And then this bit here has to be a process flow. Okay, so and then you need to also talk about quality here as a maybe you can even talk about the cost of quality. Then it may be a bit easier for you to talk about quality management, because if you don't manage quality, things can get very expensive later. Okay, so then in QP, it's all about earlier part of that process, you see, and about getting the right material, getting the right machineries, having the right methods of doing things, etc. And then in the QP, you need to also put in how do you plan to control and how do you plan to monitor. Yeah. By doing this, you are essentially doing QA. So this QP, there is two bits here. There's two parts here. Part one is about input. Yeah. Part two is about planning to check. Okay. Planning to check and plan to monitor. What is a plan to monitor? Okay. So this one is like you're putting the whole plan, the whole quality manual in place with testing, with monitoring, with, let's say, if something goes wrong, what do you do, and all that. So this bit here, plan to check, this part 2 here, plan to check, is actually belonging to what we call QA. And the QC bit is part 3, whereby, I won't call it any part, it's just it's a separate part of its own. It's about doing it. Okay, it's about doing the controlling. It's about doing whatever that you have inputted, whatever that you have done. Then you are actually going to execute it and execute your monitoring and controlling. This is the physical thing, Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to explain that all quality management doesn't run away from this idea. Yeah. And then this is the basic ideas, So I need to know what is the latest thought about QP. What is the latest thought about QA? Because this QA, QP, QC has been here for a long time. If you go back and talk about 40 years ago, what is QP, QA, QC, it's very different with what is QP, QA, QC in year 2020, 2021. Okay. So the purpose of literature review is not for you to really review on what is QP 40, 50 years ago during the runtime. Yes, you can mention him, you can mention Crosby, but if you don't know what is QP today, then what is the purpose of your research lab?
Yeah.
Because your topic later on is about process, and that is planning for your process, planning to check and monitor, and then executing it later,
Okay.
So if you don't know what is lacking in QP today, in QA today, and in QC today, so then what is a research topic all about? You don't know, So purpose of doing literature review is for you to understand what is the most current, talk about issues, what is the latest gossip, in terms of QP, QA, QC, you see? Because people have already done. Maybe in 2000, they have already changed the whole idea of QP, QA, QC. And then they have been executing it for the past 10, 15 years, and there's a lot of result now after the changes of the idea of QA, QP, QC.
Yeah.
So you need to read journals. That's why, Huang, it's not about all these destination things only. That's why I say this 11 pages is just scratching the surface, scratching the surface, honestly. And I don't even feel the itch, you see.
Okay.
So you hardly even get into the second layer of your skin, that sort of thing,
Okay.
So you see, when you do this, you're talking about the latest 2020, 2015, 2018. What is the QP? How do people define QP now? What is the latest? That's why we talk about last 10 years, maximum 15 years kind of ideas. It takes that new system to evolve, come out, and then they tested it for a few years, and maybe up to 10 years, and then they will see that it's still lacking this, it's still lacking that, we still have to be improving. There's new input, into the systems and all that. We need something better, and that is where your value comes in. I'm doing this because from the involvement from that time until now, there is a gap in terms of there's still problems with regards to quality management, and therefore we need to have a better system, and that's what you are trying to create, you see. So we have to know what is available at this point in time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you understand?
Yeah. Sort of research gap, is it?
Yeah, the research gap. Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, that's through every section of your literature review, you're trying to tell me your research gap,
Okay. Research.
So here you can actually split down into quality management and quality management system. System is one thing. So that now when you finish talking about what is happening with the latest QP, QA, QC, so the basic thing is quality management is about QA, QP, QC, you know? And then you finish talking about this first, and then the latest development in terms of QP, QA, QC, and then you summarize as in what is the you know, the latest problems or latest issues or whatever lah, you know. We don't really have to talk about problems yet. We just have to talk about the latest development, you see. And then when we talk about QMS, QMS is a system that actually plays around with this thing. Okay? With QP, QA, QC. So the more even PQM is a QMS. That alone is already like an old story. You know what I mean?
So can I put the QMS into another section, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So here you do have QA, QP, QC. You do have a bit of QC lah, quality assurance and control. And you do have a little bit on QA. This one is not exactly QA. These are more like QMS.
Okay. QMS. Okay.
That is a QMS. It's a system.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to get away today, like this bit here on QA and QC difference and all that. I think you can shift it up to here.
Okay.
Yeah, so this bit here, you probably can shift up to here. Okay, but you're still short of QP, QA, QC lah, huh? So this is a bit of an in-depth knowledge about QA, QC, the idea of QA, QC in quality management here. Okay.
Okay.
This green here, you shift up, but it's not enough yet, nah? Then when you have the QMS systems, you talk about things like from the involvement. In the first place, it was on statistical control. A lot of things about QMS is about statistical control. You know, SQC, statistical quality control, you see. And then after that, it evolves into quality culture and TQM. And then nowadays, there are other things like Six Sigma, Kaizen, lean constructions. These are all QMS. It all plays around with this. And you need to talk about QMS, the system of QMS in terms of the latest development, especially for construction industry. You always bring it back because a lot of quality things that belong to manufacturing. So we need to find articles that are more related to construction. Okay. This is a separate thing on its own. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So then QMS itself, like ISO is QMS. You know, ISO in the 1990s, in the early 2000s, they are the hottest thing available in terms of QMS. But what does ISO do, you know? Did you talk about that, you see?
Okay.
It's the result from people using all over the world ISO. What is the result of using ISO in construction industry? What is the result of using Six Sigma? Do you use Six Sigma? Do you use 6S? The Japanese has a lot of these new things, okay? What is the result of using statistical control in the construction industry? You need to point out to me all these things, you see.
Okay.
This is to actually help you to realize that there is a shortfall in the system, and this is the part that will come in here. So this is the part that you will have to talk about how construction industry is still lacking, you know. This is the part that we talk about. Yes, there is so many. We all understand that construction, you need to manage quality. Okay, we already understand that. So from your section 2.2, you already understand that here. At the end of this section here, you should be able to tell me that, you know, quality management is important and it is also a very important element in construction industry. Okay. And then the system that has been applying for manufacturing has been changed to using that for the construction industry. And there is still many problems pertaining to that. Okay. So then at the end of this particular 2.3 section, you should be able to tell me that, you know, it looks like a lot of these quality management systems are still not addressing the issues of and so then we talk about what is our industry and what is the issues with in terms of in terms of quality.
Okay.
And this bit here that I look at 2.2.4 is talking about construction industry.
Yeah.
So why is it that suddenly, you know, you go from getting deeper and deeper into quality management systems and the effectiveness of quality management systems, you know, and then you jump back to construction industry? Shouldn't you be finishing talking about construction industry first? Where at the beginning?
Okay. I should put it earlier, is it?
What do you think? Does it make sense to you to put it here now?
I'm thinking to put the construction industry and then go deeper into QA/QC in construction industry.
Okay, that is your thought, huh? But whatever you're writing here now at this point in time is a very much of a global view of the construction industry.
Yeah.
So that is too wide. What we should have is, if this goes all the way up to the beginning, the background here.
Okay.
You're talking about construction industry being complicated and there's a lot of things that you need to manage, and one of them is quality.
Okay.
And then that would make sense in terms of the reading of how wide, because the coverage of that few paragraphs at the bottom is so big that it should belongs to the earlier part of things.
Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
You go from construction industry and then the complication of construction industry, you know, you move out that very big picture of construction industry, and then follow in, you need to talk about what you need to manage when it comes to construction. And part of it is time, cost, quality. Okay? And then you summarize for me, like maybe in a page or two, what is time, cost, quality for construction, and then bringing the highlight, shining the highlight into quality. And then you start to define quality and quality. Every section here that you're doing now, after the big background, it should be general construction industry, general construction industry, general construction industry. Like what is definition of quality? You finish talking about quality in terms of general, then you need to talk about quality in terms of construction industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you always, in every section, you always fall back to construction industry. And even this course of quality should be based on construction industry.
Okay.
And then even when you start to talk about QA, QP, QC, yes, you talk about general, but the research study that I want you to focus on will be in construction industry.
Okay.
So what is QA, QP, QC in construction industry? And here, this is quality management systems. Can you tell me, okay, what is quality management system? So where is your, I don't see any TQM here in the system. I don't see any Six Sigma here in the system. I don't see any ISO here in the system. So you see, you didn't even cover the basic quality management system. A quality management system is a noun. It's a thing, you know, it's a thing that you need to write about. It is not a verb. Verb is about managing quality. So this is a system, a quality management system is a noun. So TQM is a noun. Noun meaning that you need to describe it, you know.
Yeah.
When I want to describe a noun, I want to describe handphone. I need to write my handphone is Huawei, my handphone is what brand, my handphone is what size, my handphone has what function. You know, you're talking about your handphone, you need to describe your handphone. And when you talk about QMS, I don't see you describing what actually is QMS, you see? And then what is QMS? What should be in QMS and what are the typical QMS? It's just that you're talking about Chinese. So in Chinese, there is, you know, Chinese are yellow skinned people, blah, 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 you know, and they come from which region and da, 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 you know. So overall, we talk about Chinese, you know. And then in Chinese, there is Fuchao, Hokkien and all that, Cantonese. And then you go in and talk about, okay, Chinese can be Fuchao. And Fuchao are what?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Fuchaos are what are the characteristics of Fuchao? So TQM is what? Is it? QMS has TQM, Six Sigma, 5S, whatever, you know, that is available recently, generally in the world, and recently, generally in construction, you see?
Okay.
And then what is available, and then you describe each and every one of them clearly, and then you can tell me at the end of this section, you will have a section on, even though the system is available, there's so many of them, okay? But the problems with quality still persist, you see? And then you go in and talk about issues and challenges of quality management and quality management system in construction industry. And then you have a whole list of things that you will write about in terms of problems, you see?
Okay.
I'm not sure whether you guys even listen back to my recording at all or not, but it looks like you are not, you know, kind of thing, you know, because I feel like I'm repeating the same thing every time I see you guys. And this is already coming up to November. October finish already. I start seeing you guys around June, July. Till now, it's about 4 months, you know. Hello, you know. I'm very serious about doing this. You know, if you guys are not serious about doing this, don't waste my time like this, you see. I mean, this is a Saturday. I have better things to do. I'm not feeling very well, you know. I have to make sure that I want to come out and, you know, get this thing done for you, because I do want you all to complete this literature review, a good, solid literature review for you to finish by end of the year, so that we can proceed to other things and get on with your life, you know.
Okay.
So don't wait until I have to message you on the 26th or 28th of every month and say, hand in to me in 2 days time. And then, you know, you guys are like rushing and give me this full work, you know, and then show it to me, you know, like 5 page. So I calculate like average, you know, average here since 4 page until now. How many words you have? How many words you have? 1,200. 1,200 words, okay? Since the first time, last month I see you. 1,200 words versus 30 days. Every day you're writing me 40 words, you know. You tell me reasonable or not?
Yeah.
And actually, there's not much of research going on here in the papers in terms of the latest paper, latest development and that.
Okay.
So 40 words, that is like you are writing about 2 sentences a day, basically. So if we are going to go by a 50,000, how many words? 50,000 word thesis. You go and divide, huh? 1,250 days to finish up your thesis. And 1 year you got 365 days. If you work completely every year with 40 words, to write your thesis, you're going to be writing it in 3 years' time. So people graduate with a PhD and you guys are still here. 3.5 years, by the way. Okay, that is exactly a PhD thesis already. So I give you a discount 70%. Okay, masters, I give you a discount. 3.5 years times by 70%, 2 years, 2.5 years. This is a part-time kind of way of doing things, 2.5 years. Huh? So you have to start working on it, Huan.
Okay. Okay, sure.
I'm not going to request too many things. You go and finish up with your up to QMS before I see you next.
Okay. All right.
And I want latest development. I want literature. You have problems finding literature or not?
Actually plenty of it, but I need to look through.
Yeah.
Mm,
Go to the latest one
any
and go
access
back
actually.
later.
Yeah.
Maybe they start with year 2000. Only those year 2000 and above will be a bit more meaningful, unless you're talking about more of the history of. Yeah.
I searched for 2009 until latest.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get to you here is I already give you the floor already. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what else to do, honestly. This is almost telling you the whole framework of how to write a literature review.
Okay. Doctor, regarding the construction industry, I need to talk about it before the definition. So at that place, I need to mention some issues inside construction industry. After that, I go into quality. Is it?
And also, depending on how you write it, because if it's so important to talk about problems first, but I don't think so. You should talk about, generally construction industry, what is it like, and all that. And then
Okay.
the target of the industry is to complete projects. And to complete projects, what does it mean by defining the completing project?
Okay. All right.
That is about fulfilling time, cost, and schedule. That is the basic of when we manage every project, we need to manage the quality.
Okay. All right.
Then from there, you talk about quality definition, earlier definition, more latest definition of the latest definition in terms of construction, and then how quality, if we don't do it, it gets very expensive, and quality is actually something that is a must already, And what you don't talk about problems first. You just basically talk about involvement of quality, the definition of involvement, and then up to the point that it is related to construction industry, and then how things will get very expensive because of rework, of redoing, of hacking and all that for our construction. And at the end of the day, I would say the definition, let's say you have 5-page definition now.
Okay.
Only 2-page or so will be focusing on general definition. Like general as in, quality is defined overall across industry in terms of project management. That is the definition of quality. But in terms of construction and the cost of quality and all that, it will take about 60 to 70% of your whole thing. Because
all right.
we are talking about a civil engineering thing here, not a general mechanical manufacturing industries, you see.
Okay.
We cannot ignore the definition that comes out from manufacturing because the idea are always from manufacturing, you see. But you need to talk about involvement of it from manufacturing to construction. So then after you finish talking about quality, like the floor of quality, like it gets really expensive. This is the point that you're trying to tell the audience. The purpose up here that you're talking about up here is to tell us that quality needs to be managed. And then, so what is quality management? We define what is quality management. What is the latest definition? What is the old definition?
Okay.
What is the involvement? What is the history of quality management? And then then what is the essence of quality management? This is the essence of quality management. Essence is QP, QA, QC, and how is this like in the construction industry? What is the latest development in terms of QA, QP, QC? You can talk about it separately, like 2.2.1, 2.2.2, you know. The best is construction industry, you'll be talking about in terms of 2.2. Definition, we'll be talking about as a 2.3 already, I would say.
Okay.
And then your will be about 2.4 already, yeah.
Okay.
And QMS will be your 2.5 already. And QMS is like you need to talk about different type of QMS and you know what are the different QMS available and how effective they have been for the construction industry. Okay.
Okay.
So at the end of this particular section on QMS, we'll talk about effectiveness of the QMS for our projects or our industry. And that's whereby you start to move into quality issues and challenges.
Issues.
Overall issues and challenges, it can be from the quality, like as in things that have no quality, down to managing quality, down to having the quality management systems and all that, yeah. It's all about quality issues in quality in construction.
In construction. Okay.
So by the end of this particular section, this particular 2.5, right? 2.5, 2.6 lah, huh?
2.6. Okay.
You should be able to tell me that the current system may not be so effective and what we should be doing next.
So what is the lacking?
Yeah.
Lacking.
I think the quality thing is very wide issue, doctor. Recently I was dealing with the I tell you just one quick experience. Recently I was handing over few hundred unit of property. I tell you no matter what property we are handing over, nobody dare to give you the verification of the quality. They just push the thing to property department, then the project department dare not to verify all these quality issue because of the, the wall surface, the railing, anything outside the boundary that exposed to the weather and the sun and raining. Your quality of your material tend to be deteriorate. Meaning that every concrete you cast, if you expose to the sun and the water and the raining, there will be crack line. So anything with a crack line, nobody can accept. So with the you cannot. I don't think nobody can answer this question, which is can you ensure quality control at all time? There's no way. There's no way. Anybody that is smarter than the other person come in to check the quality. They see the quality in more detail. They say that you fail the quality again. They say you have poor finishing, all these things. So it's very hard to introduce quality. I think very hard.
Something that we don't have to introduce, so that's the point here, you see. So what Bernard is saying is actually one of the issues and challenges in quality management.
Yeah.
You see, so but what you cannot quote him now, obviously. Okay. So you will have to find papers, research papers, latest research paper that talks about maybe quality management in terms of properties, and all that kind of thing, and there's so many things out there. Really, this is not a new topic. But at the end of the day, we do want you to fall back to process-based, construction workflow. Or that at the end of it, I would foresee that you will have a system of starting from quality planning, like a construction system, and depending on what type of work that you're doing, whether it's civil work or structural work, maybe we can stick to structures. I'll probably get team to stick to structures as well, and then from there you guys create a flow or workflow in terms of quality for people to manage, like what should be there, and then who should sign it, that kind of thing, so we cannot have that answer yet until you are able to tell me that there is a problem here, you see. That is what we call depth of research, and that is what we call, what I'm trying to get you to prove here is after so many years, 50, 20, 50, 60, 100 years of quality management, since World War I until now, in terms of construction industry, we have not progressed very far. This is what I'm trying to get you to prove here in terms of upcoming issues and challenges, you see. So I need to know what is available and how effective they have been, and then what is the major thing that we can do now, that is the next thing that we are looking at, the next 2.7, 2.8, and then from there we are evolving into our thesis, you see.
Yeah, okay.
But initial bit, I always just take it step by step. You get all these things done first, you understand how effective the current QMS has been in our industry. You understand what are the current problems and challenges that still available after applying all these QMS, and then see problem, method. You see, your method is like this, is all here. It's just that let me give you an example, a more simple example. It's the same as applying to Bernard as well, you see. Like, I have, I want to bake a cake, I want to bake a cake. And I searched online, banana cake. Okay, let's go for banana cake. It is one of the oldest cake in the world, correct or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So quality is one of the oldest cake in the world. Okay. So in the old days, people make it like this, like this, like this. In the recently people make it like this. And then the most recent recipe I've seen is they will beat the egg together first. Like normally all the recipe will tell you that, please beat the butter and the sugar together, and then after that you pour in this and pour in that. And then I see a recipe suddenly that it's all about beating the eggs first, and creating the airy results first. That's science, you see. People are adding in science into banana cake now. Okay. So if you don't review all these recipes, so all the available recipes are here. Okay. Then you're talking about the end product, the banana cake. Why is it that some banana cakes are still dry when you have all these recipes available, you see? Is it people not following it? Is it people like what Bernard says, no one wants to take responsibilities for it? And is it because the banana no good? Is it because the flour no good? Is it because the machine is no good?
No. I mean that I think the easiest way is to specify whether this banana cake is for luxury one or the cheaper one or middle one. Once you specify, it's very nice.
Exactly. So that is what, Bernard, what you're talking about is QP, you see. In terms of QP, the basic meeting of minds, the requirement of QP, the basic requirement of what is the quality requirement is not properly defined. So this is one of the challenges, one of the issues. You see, when you list down all your problems and when you list down all your methods, you start to delve and you start to think, where exactly is missing, you see? And this is where we as researcher, you as a master candidate comes in. You see all these recipes here, you see all the problems with the banana cakes here. then you start to see, happening here. You know, by reviewing these two parts here, you're trying to find the bridge here. And the bridge can be what Bernard says, no, people don't define it. You are, you are actually judging. The person eating is actually a Michelin star person, and you're actually buying banana cake from the street. You see, then it could be problems like, yes, definition taught, but no one actually executed. Like there is a problem with attitude of people making it. Even if it's the roadside banana cake, RM1 one, you will still have to have certain attitude when you make it, right?
Yeah.
So could that be a problem? So that is whereby you will tell me by the end of this 2.6, you, Huang, will tell me, tell everybody here, where is my problem and what is the research that I want to be doing here?
Okay.
Where do you think the problem will be? And then we will discuss, that's how you should write your problem statement. And that's where your chapter 1 is going to be almost done, Approach it like this, you see. Okay, can I just leave you here with this to think about? If any questions that you want to ask me?
No, at the moment. If any question, maybe I'll just WhatsApp doctor. Is it okay?
Yes, can, but you just have to finish this up. I want to see both of you to have a complete literature review by end of December. So meaning that the next time that you hand in your work to me will be around 23 or 26th of November.
November, yeah.
Yeah. And I do not want a 40 words a day kind of speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doctor, I just ask you one thing. I got registered the class research methodology on 15 to 18 November, right?
Yeah.
So that one we have to attend full time, or what should we do? Must attend full time or what?
You just have to go there, and then if you cannot go there, just on your video or something, and then request people to do recording for you, okay? And then if you can't finish it, at the end of it, the assessment will be a presentation by you on how you want to approach this research.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you will be great, like pass or fail. Really pass or fail. There won't be any exams. I think it will be a short presentation of what kind of method that you'll be using for this research.
Oh.
For any research or for this research?
For your research.
We need to present at the last day. Is it?
I'm not sure whether last day or Dr. Shelley will actually have a separate date for presentation.
Okay.
And you will basically have a few pages by saying that, you have done some literature review. The overall framework is to carry out literature review. From the literature review, you define your problem statement, and then from the literature review, you'll be getting your, whatever I'm training you here is basically what you will be presenting later on in that way. Yeah. You probably do a framework on how you want to approach this research. Like maybe that's why we need to finish it up as soon as possible, because otherwise you may be a bit unsure whether you want to use case studies or you want to use like general.
Doctor, I think the research methodology, I think if we do the interview with particular people, for me, I'm thinking now, if I do interview of particular specialized people for the thing that related to my research, will be better for me. Because if I ask them to fill in a lot of information, it's not, I don't think it's accurate. What do you think?
I cannot tell you this.
I-
You haven't even finished your
Yeah.
literature review.
Okay.
In other words, your research topic is not even clear,
Okay.
At the end of, at the end of, like I said, 2.6, or 2.9 or 2.10, there is a section in previous research into your topic. So if until this point, you guys are not able to tell me where the problems are, because you haven't
Okay.
literature review. The literature review up to your issues and problems and challenges, it will be able to tell me exactly what is the research topic, you see. So if you don't even have a research topic, what are you talking about when you talk about methods, you see? Right.
Okay.
You don't even know if you're having headache or stomach ache, and then you ask me, doctor, what medicine should I take? It doesn't make sense, right?
Screening.
Uh,
Help screening. Yes. Help screening.
So you really need to finish your literature review first, and then from there, finish like it's about 70% of the literature review. Then our problem statement will be very clear, and when your problem statement is very clear, then your research topic is very clear, and then we will move on to the next level in terms of finding out what have other people done in that area, okay, of the research. What are the methods that they use? If some people use case studies, some people use actually for me, most likely is the both of you will be using case studies. Whether within that case studies you are collecting information based on interview or based on whatever, that is another story.
Okay. Interview.
Most likely will be case studies, meaning that you need to get data from certain projects. And you may need to get it from a few, for master's level case studies, we have to easily do 10 to 12 case studies.
Then what? Sorry. Then what?
10 case studies.
You mean case study on the person or projects? Yeah.
You need to find projects that you have you need to get the data for your topic from the project.
For a project. Yeah.
So within the case studies, you want to interview some people, you want to do some surveying work, for some of the broad information. That one is later on we decide.
Okay.
Most likely, because I have master students who graduate, he did 6 case studies, and the examiner is not happy. So at the end of the day, we compromise him up to about 8 or 10. And so I say easily for case studies, we have to get like 8 or 10 or even 12 to be safe, depending on, meaning that you have to review enough of project information to be able to, because masters is about a critical analysis of the data, you see. So if you don't have enough data, you cannot analyze them. So that data will probably have to come into from different areas. So meaning that, you will need to look at the issues and problems and challenges, maybe in terms of different projects. And then from there start to apply some of the, start to see the pattern in things, and then write the data, how the data is actually being presented, and see where the problems are and all that. And then after that, you give a recommendations of how to improve those problems. See? The problems for your case could be lack of process, you see, lack of process flow. And then so you have to go into you delve into those data. That's why I pair you up with Ching. He will be able to give you a lot of case studies because he is from JKR Sarawak. See?
Okay.
And Bernard case, I'm not worried because you are from the industry. You probably have a lot of project that is having delays and etc. And then you can borrow some of the data from there. I think that should be all right as well.
I think I will have a lot of data. The one I'm not worried about. I think the data I have a lot idea, but on the research method and case study. I think Huang information is one of the interview. I'm the best quality information guy.
Okay.
One of the case study is with me already.
Yeah, so I will have no problem with that. But not delve into the matters at the moment now. I mean, you guys are giving me a lot of heartache when it comes to your literature review at this point, you know. Like just now, we talk about do you understand where your problems is, Bernard? I mean, like every time I ask this question, I don't even know why I ask you this question because you don't seem to understand. You keep on repeating the same thing, you know. And I already say your problem is you don't know how to finish talking about one thing first and then moving on to the next thing, you see.
Okay. Sorry, a bit too physically how to say, I need to allocate my time, but a bit too tired, my whole body.
You need to be
Too
careful.
energy consuming.
Um,
Not the study is no issue. I need to focus a lot. Focus.
I feel like your work, like I say, like I've gone through this just now. I mean, you're not here, and I think you can go back to your recording. I was talking to myself, and then you went offline already. So, like I say, in terms of time, you need to have a few, your definition along. Finish talking about time and definition of time, from different authors, We should have about one or two paragraphs, 5 or 6 definition. And then what about schedule? Where is your schedule? Like the definition of a schedule and how do you manage schedule? What are the tools to create schedules? You see, create and manage schedules. You see, so you don't even talk about all these things at all.
So this part, this thing is all under the definition, right? You're talking about, you want me to talk about definition detail on the term, right? Schedule, CPM. That's what you want, right? Or you want me to tell about the 3 things: time, delay, and
Yeah, but that I actually assume that that definition. It has to be the basic information. Remember the foundation. You have to talk about that as well. And then, like all your time. Let's say your paragraph here on time. You see, you are so jumpy. Talk about time in one or two sentences, and then you straight away jump to delay. And then delay, you don't even use, you don't even finish talking about delay. You go back and talk about, time is used for performance control, economic things. And then suddenly you talk about cost again. Is this all?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, what is all this? You see, this is why I said it's very difficult to read and to actually make corrections to your thing, because
I know, because I was following the researcher, how to say, their writing. So yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, I know, maybe I delete off the researcher idea or something.
writing a paper is that you're trying to present your idea in about 6 to 15 pages, okay? Therefore, a lot of the author will have to compress and condense everything to tell people what they have learned and what they have done, okay? But you're doing a thesis. You're doing a literature review within a master's thesis. Your master's thesis is going to be 50,000 words, more or less. Okay, 30 to 50,000 words. So you will have, I would say, about 80, 90, 100 over pages or more. Okay, 150 pages if even. So if we are dividing like 50,000 words, if we're dividing 50,000 words over 350 words per page, you're looking at 150 pages, you see. And even if I give you another discount of 80% now, you're looking at about 120 pages as well. Okay, so in these 120 pages, why are you compressing things? You see, you should be worried about now. You don't have you don't have things to write. You see, so overall, I would say you need to. The method that I have for you now is like this. When you're let's say when you're writing challenges and issues, you write overview first. Write overview on generally what are the challenges, what are the problems, etc. And then summarize in point forms. Okay. summarize, this is a summarize your overview. Summarize your overview. Let's say you have one-page overview of challenges and issues with construction industry. And that last paragraph would be some sort like a point form of what is the challenges and problems. So with this little tiny heading, which you will delete later on, okay, then you start to move into talking about the more in-depth challenges and problems. And then, it can be physical problems, it can be management problems, it can be whatever, like, I don't know. You have to tell me from the literature. Okay? So definitely, I don't need you to jump
Okay,
from,
okay.
like all these things are like, here you talk about poor planning, delay, poor coordination. And this paragraph here has all other information that I don't know what is it. Is it necessary? Is this an overview? Then you jump in and
Overview.
you go back and talk about time. And then you jump up there and you talk about construction industry again being complex and fragmented. And then you go back again and talk about schedule and problems with schedule. So you tell me how I should be reading this. Can you tell me where your problem is? Instead of me telling you where your problem is and you just don't seem to get it.
I just want to say that the construction many issue in every part of the process. In every part of the process,
So I
from
want you to do,
planning
no doubt.
to the process to the execution. There are too many problems in the construction. The second part is to introduce that construction is a very complex thing.
Then do you know how to do proper paragraphing? Paragraph, you should be talking about one point, right?
The point is the
Your line is breaking up. Your line is breaking up. I
Very-
can't really hear you.
complicated and it's never
It is complicated. Then you write that complication, how complicated things are, everything in the overview, Bernard. Overview, the construction industry is a complicated, it's a fragmented, it's a complex, it's a people industry, okay? And then there will be problems from planning, creating a project all the way to finishing the project. Hello? Are you still here? Hello, Bernard?
I think he may be line problem, I think.
Okay. This is not getting anywhere, huh? I mean, like, to I will give him a WhatsApp call. Hopefully his WhatsApp is working better.
Okay.
You can go off first if you want.
Okay. Doctor, I want to talk about the research methodology class. Normally, Dr. Shirley, she will email to our personal email, and I checked the Unimas email also, didn't receive any notice talking about the like asking us to register for the class.
Can you give her an email?
Okay, because I scared if there's anything in the future, we cannot get the latest notice or announcement.
Yeah.
But that can you go offline from you turn off already, yeah? You turn off your back. You turn off your back. I will do the recording here as well. At the same time, yeah, I will be doing this with you. I mean, like, okay, how do you want to do this? You know, I mean, you have to listen to my instructions carefully, you know. I mean, like, I don't want you to just go away after every month. So can you just let me finish talking about this before you start to move around and all that? Yeah. So I need you to go from your work, especially the beginning part, your construction industry, all the way to the challenges. Everything here, I need you to flow it in a way that every paragraph talk about one thing only. So if you have an overview of the challenges, yes, we talk about overview, you can have an overview. Overview can be also very neat and tidy, meaning that you don't put like planning issues with coordination issues with management issues in one paragraph. If we talk about physical issues, we talk about overall everything about physical issues. If we talk about management issues, we talk about everything about management issues first. Okay? And after you go finish the overview, you have a summary of all the points that you get from the overview, okay, like a point form. And then you start to move in and then you talk about, you know, one of the major challenges is challenges to manage time, cost, quality. Okay. And then you can talk about time, cost, quality. Okay. Let's say in 3 paragraphs. Okay. And then moving in, you say, okay, now the issues is time management. Okay. Then you talk about everything and anything to do with time, managing of schedule, the problem with managing of schedule, the problem, you know, delay do happen, you know, and each and every one of these points in every paragraph, it has to be clearly many different authors talking about the same point. So then after you talk about the challenges and issues and all that, the main thing is you want to know that main thing is at the end of that section, you need to tell us that in construction industry, managing time and managing schedule is a very difficult thing because it seems that with all the steps in place, delays still happen. Okay. And then you move in the next section and talk about time overrun. Okay. So if let's say I mark this very clearly for you, you would have your 1.2 as time, okay? Time, and then 1.4 as delay, okay? And then this time overrun, delay, you know, like, okay, now I'm also confused by you already. So everything to do with time overrun, you see, time overrun is a very general thing. Suddenly you have this time and cost overrun. Okay, right, so you talk about delay first. After you finish talking about delay, what are the effects of delay? So effects of delay should be under delay. So it's 1.4.1, correct or not? So you have 1.4 delay. 1.4.1 effects of delay. And then of delay, it should be 1.4.2 or 1.4.1 should be type of delay first. I will go for type of delay first because type of delay is very general. Okay, then I will go for the effects of delay. 1.4.2, and then after that I will go for causes of delay. 1.4.3. You see? So from this bit onwards, like type of delay, you are very clear. You know, like you are very clear. You know, like when we talk about excusable, non-excusable delay, you all this paragraph here, you're talking about that thing only. So what I want, you see, not jumping from excusable to compensable, going from the compensable back to excusable. When you talk about compensable, non-compensable, everything is there, you see. And in fact, I think your paragraphing, you like to join like 7, 8 sentences in one paragraph. We should split up the paragraph. We should have more authors talking about compensable, non-compensable, talking about excusable, non-excusable. You know, we should have about 2 paragraphs each on this type of delay. Okay, and then causes of delay. Again, you will go for an overview first. Overview on the causes of delay. It can be caused by few category like contractors and everything. And then you start to move in and, like, okay, causes of delay that is caused by contractor. What is it about? Causes of delay that is caused by consultant. What is it about? And then in every section, like paragraphing like that, you finish talking about all the contractor related one, all the consultant related one, all the environmental related one, all the weather related one. You talk about it, each and every one of them by itself. Give yourself a small little heading to remind yourself, now I'm talking about contractor related delay. I need to search for all the literature related to contractor delay. And I don't want to talk about, in case you have a tendency to talk about other things, like run off like that, you stop yourself and you look at your heading, and that heading is talking about contractor delay. Yeah. So then after that, from this section, you already have a very good, you need to have a very solid section about delay, effects of delays and all that. So at the end of that section, you should be able to give me in one paragraph what the above tells you. The above tells you that, time is a difficult thing to manage in the first place. Planning of time is important, but even though that delay still happens, and therefore in every project, not only we need to manage schedule, we also need to manage delay. Okay, so how do you manage delay? So delay management, and that is your next section. You have your 1.5 now. Delay management. Okay, so what is delay management all about? Delay management is about managing delays. It's about it's about granting. You need to find things related to that. Not only techniques, overall, what is overview of delay management? Okay, and then moving into more detail, 1.5.2. 1.5.2 is about tools or techniques to manage delays. Okay. Okay, so you have different tools and all that. And then you talk about delay analysis 1.5.3, you see? And advantages, disadvantages, and delay analysis technique 1.5.4, is it? Yeah. All this bit here, I think from the part that you talk about delay analysis, things are quite clear. You are basically not jumping around anymore. There is an improvement here. But then the problem is it's not enough. You are only getting it from 2 or 3 authors. So I don't see any new development on delay analysis. I don't see any development on delay analysis methods, you know. So we need to have latest one, like what I told Huang just now, 2010, 2020, 2015, you know, because the reason is if you don't have the latest development, how do you know whatever that you're doing, people has not done it before? So here you are okay. I mean, like on the delay part onwards, you are writing in the sense that it's quite clear. Like finish one thing and then you move on to the next record. So like finish a program update, you finish, then you talk about record. But the problem is you don't have enough material. Yeah? Understand? Huh? So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think I know how busy you are. I'm not going to push you. I mean, like if you really want to complete this well in time, I will probably push you in 2 weeks' time to give me another draft because your draft is problematic in that sense, you see. But since you are busy and all that, I do not want to overstress you. If you are prepared to be doing longer time later on, like as in more than 2 years, we will see how we go lah, huh? Let's you stick to the 26th of November. You hand in to me another draft. You understand? If you can, if you really do need more time, you can tell me because I do not want you all to hand in like I chase you guys and then then you hand in some work just to fool me, you know, like you're just like trying to hand in an assignment that I'm not going to be happy with, you know, then what's the point? I mean, like you're getting me very upset, you know, both of you are getting me very upset, you know, because you are not really giving me the work that I want. And every time I feel like I'm wasting my time being a recorder, trying to repeat the same thing, you know, again and again for you all. Yeah. And also to add in latest development, because if you don't add in latest development of, you know, the technique, the analysis is the one that I show it to you, like during your proposal stage, and you haven't even progressed from there, adding in the new type of analysis that is available and what is other people doing it and how effective it is and all that, you know, in construction project. I mean, like, if you haven't find research on that sort of things, you are actually barely scratching the surface, you know. Okay, so like I said, I also have this recording. All these meetings are being recorded, you know, and I'm talking to you now, but it's being recorded on WebEx. So I also give you guys the WebEx thing. You guys have to go and listen to it, you know, if you're not sure about which section and all that, you know. Like when you're trying to do correction for that particular section, you forgot what I tell you already. Go back and listen to the recording again, you know. Okay, so you know, like if you really do need more time, you're busy with work, I understand. Just let me know, but don't hand in things that is no difference from whatever last draft that I see, you see? Yeah. You're wasting my time, I'm wasting your time also. Okay?
Okay, doctor.
Yeah, same one also, huh?
Okay.
All right, so okay, let's get on with it, huh? This is draft 4 already, meaning that we've been doing this for 4 months, and literature review, if proposed students for masters, draft 4, I would have said that what I should be saying to you in draft 4 should be, hey, you know, this bit here not enough, you add in more. This bit here not enough, you add in more. You see? Or this bit here, you just rearrange a little bit here and there. It's just like tinkering already, you know, and we're moving on to the previous research section already. Now you guys are giving me after 4 months still things like not enough, no data, and also all the math and the arrangements are not even there. You see?
Okay, all right, doctor.
Okay, so I'll see you guys. Ken, you let me know. You let me know. Here, I'm pretty sure I'm putting in draft 4 already. This is the draft 4. So when you're giving me, it's draft 5 already. Okay. I mean, like you guys are more mature than this. I mean, like my final year students after 3 meetings, they are already quite clear of what they are doing already. Like each draft 4 should be just detailing work. Some of the detail not there only. And you need to add in a bit more literature. That's it. And then we're moving on to the next stage already. Right? Draft 4 is still like trying to arrange your thing. It's like hello. Okay. I don't want to start complaining like I'm complaining to undergraduate at 21, 22 years old. You guys I respect you all as a professional engineer here. So I really don't want to get myself upset over all these things, okay? All right, Ash.
All
See you,
right.
Bernard. Have a good day. Bye-bye, Juan.
Okay, bye-bye, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you.